Welcome back to the At Home with Robee show. I'm Ashley Davis along with Trent Haston. We're your hosts. We're glad you're spending your Sunday morning with us. Whether you're in the car or on the couch, you're always at home with Robee. Visit us today at andrewrobey.com. That's andrewroby.com. Or you can always give us a call, 704-334-5477. Trent, we are still joined by Dominick Thompson. He's overseeing our Robee Handy Man division. We've talked a little bit about it. Talked about the philosophy of why you created that company. But now, for the folks listening, let's get into some details about the type of projects we can help folks with around the house.
Yes, I want to make one point before we jump back in with Dominick. Dominick Thompson is a testament to what I think people need to do to get their foot in the door, young people, to start a career or something they're passionate about and work their way up. I've always said, my philosophy is, just give me a chance. We won't even talk about what I'm going to make if I ever needed a job. Just give me a chance, and then after a while you can tell me what I'm earning, and then I'll work my way up from there. And I think a lot of young people in today's world have their hand out and say, "Oh, I'm worth X. What can I get?" And they overlook and miss a lot of opportunities. And it's the same thing too. I think early on in their position, they think they should move up really quickly, and they want to be paid like a veteran after a year, and they got to earn their stripes, so to speak. And I think a lot of them miss opportunities and learn a lot of good lessons. And Dominick and I were riding in the car. I spent a day with him a couple of weeks ago, and he talked about coming from a different industry and was saying thank you for giving him a chance. And I asked him, I said, well, what'd you start off making, Dom, as my assistant? I think he said $12
Yeah, about $10 or $12 an hour, I think. 30 years old.
But it's a test. Yeah, 30 years old. I mean, changing the career, looking from the outside in halfway through his life, but knew he had to do something and had to take a leap of faith. Dominick's a faithful person, but had to take a leap of faith. And knew if he got in here and we were the right people and the right family business that we would give him an opportunity to move up. And when you step back, to move up really fast. Now, what I always say, while you're in it, it's like you're in the ninth round of a Mike Tyson heavyweight fight. But when you step back, it goes really fast. So I'm proud of Dominick for his discipline, but it's just a lesson out there to young America. Stop asking what you're getting out of it and get in there. And if you're with the right people and you align yourself with the right people and the right businesses and the right friends, as my dad used to say, if you run with dogs, you get fleas. Get with the right people, and the opportunities will come faster than you ever think they could come. So, Dominick, a testament to you.
Thank you.
Now let's talk about Handyman.
All right, Dom, real quick, two things. First of all, I don't think, Trent, too many Mike Tyson fights went to the ninth round.
Probably not. And the young folks listening don't even know who Mike Tyson
exactly.
is.
But beyond that, let's get to the specifics,
Mike
Trent.
He burned so many calories, he was hungry by the second round.
All right, let's get to some specifics. Robee Handy Man.
Absolutely. Man, we're seeing Ash, you had asked me in the car, what types of things are you doing these days? And I really couldn't stop just blabbering off the list of things that we've got going on at Robee Handy Man, and it ranges. There's really nothing at your home that we don't cover right now. As you know, we had kind of a treacherous winter. We had a lot of rain, and it wasn't a great season for construction in some ways, but in other ways it's been good. We're repairing roof leaks and drywall repairs associated with that. You spend most of the winter in the house, and then springtime comes out along with all that pollen, and you get out there and you start looking around at your house going, man, I didn't see this in the winter. The paint's peeling, and we got some wood rot going on. We need to get that taken care of, and woodpeckers are out. I don't know if they're chewing on your house, but they're pecking away at a lot of people. So we're doing all kinds of stuff like that. We're painting a lot of rooms. We're sanding a lot of hardwoods. We're updating a lot of countertops and plumbing fixtures and just all kinds of things. There's really nothing that doesn't come under our umbrella.
And Trent, what's great about that, there's a lot of small things there, but the level of service and attention to detail that your team gives, Dom, this is for you and Trent, it's the same as if you're building a brand new custom $2 million house.
It would. Yeah, it has to be the same, but in a lot of ways it has to be better because it's a lot easier to perform a job over a year versus a job over 3 hours or a day. And it's more of a watch pot scenario. I mean, you're typically working for one of the homeowners. Generally, the lady of the house is there watching you work, so they're very critical of what you're doing. I mean, when you're doing a year-long or a 6-month-long project, typically somebody's not there every hour watching what you guys are doing, and they're more looking at the big picture timeline. But I mean, you got one day to be on time. You got one day to look like you should look in the mirror when you show up. You got one day to sweep up and get your stuff done and look good in the mirror when you leave the house. So it's really, in my opinion, if we can get this right, which we're doing, and we fight it every day, then it's the pinnacle of running a successful services business. And we talk about handyman, and similar to the electrical service, they're service businesses. That's what they are.
It's a great point, Trent. And if you're just tuning in, you're listening to the At Home with Robee show. What we're talking about today is Robee Handy Man. If you need some things done around your house, maybe you have some wood rot, you need some painting, you want some plumbing fixtures changed, give us a call, 704-334-5477. Dominick Thompson's here. His team will come out and take care of that. And Dom, Trent brings up a great point. Let's talk about, real quick, give the folks an idea, because sometimes you call a handyman, and you don't know what you're going to expect. When they call Robee Handyman, what's going to happen to them? What's the process? Who's going to show up?
Sure. Well, I mean, every job's a little bit different. I mean, generally, people's list of repairs range so much that a lot of times we need to set up a time to come out and take a lot of photos and measurements and do what we need to do and get a quote together for you and itemize it out. We like to give people a kind of an a la carte menu style, quote on these repairs so people can pick and choose, and a lot of people do. So generally speaking, I may come out to the house. We'll put everything together. It might take me a few days to get you a quote back, and it's gonna present well. It's gonna be detailed. There generally really aren't any questions about it. We try to get all the information off at the head and give you just really thorough, clear communication on the front end.
And I think that communication is great, and the fact that you come back with a quote and a detailed quote, because a lot of times I've had people in the past, years ago, I needed handyman stuff done. I couldn't do it around the house. They come out, they kind of eyeball it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's probably $250, and you're like, well, is it $250 or is it what if you come back tomorrow and it was somebody different? I look different and it was $200, right? But you come back and you give them a full assessment of what they need and then what that cost is going to be.
Sure, absolutely, and that's us being able to leverage our experience with Robee, with 66 years of experience, and being able to provide that same service that we do on the remodeling side and on the new construction side. As Trent said, you have to provide that if you want to do a good job and grow a business. So absolutely, we have to over-communicate and have to be detailed, or else you get in trouble if you make assumptions and don't communicate.
I think Dominick, in that last 3 minutes, said communicate, or a form of communication 3 or 4 times the word. And I say it all the time. I think I've said it on the radio before. We're a construction company at the heart. I mean, but what we primarily are is a communications company. And I say that all the time. And people are like, what are you talking about? And my point is, there's a bunch of talented carpenters and contractors and people that can work with their hands out there in the world. But they have a hard time communicating price, time, the process, the critical path flow of what it's going to take to do something, whether it be a couple hours or be a couple months or a couple years on what you're doing. And I think that's what we're building the system to do, is to communicate correctly. And then behind the scenes, we're hiring talented craftsmen to fit into that system as modules, and Dominick's leading that charge. So I'm glad to hear him resonate communication very, very well.
So Dominick, and affectionately people call you Dom.
They do.
Kind of like Ashley and Ash. But people can get in touch with you at 704-334-5477, andrewrobee.com. And we got about 30 seconds. Is there a better way for folks to get in touch with you, or is that the best way to kind of get their information to you?
That's the best way to get your information to me, and we'll give you a call back within 24 hours and figure out what the next steps are.
So andrewrobee.com. You can find Robee Handyman there, or give us a call at 704-334-5477. All right, Trent, we're going to take a break now. Dom, thanks for being here.
Thank you, guys.
Great conversation about Robee Handyman. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about what's going on with the Andrew Robee Company. You're listening to the At Home with Robee show. Stay with us. We'll be right back.